After his release, Luke Simmons talked about the Houthi violations against him when he was in prison. This report has more details.
An innocent British Muslim, Luke Simmons, was tricked into returning to a Houthi-run jail in Yemen in the midst of a mass prisoner exchange after the sudden breakdown of talks over his release. And after facing cruelty and harshness in Houthi prisons, he was finally released. Simmons, who was detained on claimed spying charges, spent another 18 months within Yemen's brutal prison regime after being separated from a busload of former prisoners on their way to Sana'a airport. A senior Houthi official collected the married father from a holding center within hours of the group leaving prison and told him he would be taken to his family in Yemen, but he was instead dumped back at the prison where he was held without charge or trial. Mr. Simmons was later arrested in 2017 after he was stopped by a Houthi patrol in Taiz and accused him of spying because he was carrying a British passport. In his first interview after leaving prison, Mr. Simmons said that the hardest part of being in prison was that no one told him what he has done or how long he was going to stay in prison. He was battered in an 8-hour torture session that ended only with the call to morning prayer.
About 7 of them put blindfolds on me, handcuffed my hands to my back, beat me up from 8 in the night until 4 in the morning. Mentally injuries more than physically, but busted up my hands, busted up my face.
He said his captors later admitted they had no evidence on which to hold him and went through the motions of preparing his release every few months without ever letting him go. Mr. Simmons was eventually released after a secret deal involving 11 other foreigners, brokered by Oman and Saudi Arabia. After 5 years behind bars, he flew back to the UK last month with his Yemeni wife and young son, who was only 3 months old when he went to prison. After so many false hopes, Mr. Simmons said that he only believed he was free when the plane carrying him and his family arrived in Oman to be met by the British officials.